I'm Jessie Pridemore with Red Carpet Report here at the 67th Emmy Awards Design Nominee Reception and the launch of the 9th Annual FIDM Museum and Galleries for the Outstanding Art of Television Costume Design Exhibition. Hi, I have an exciting one for you guys right now. Would you mind introducing yourself to our viewers?
Of course. I'm Nick Verreos, and I'm a fashion designer. You may know me from Project Runway, but I'm also the official spokesperson of FIDM.
So, tell us about the exhibit. How many years have you guys been doing it?
Oh my gosh, this is the 9th annual outstanding, sounds so fancy, outstanding art of television costume design exhibition. So we've been doing this for 9 years, really saluting costume designers, costume design, the art of costume design for TV shows. And really, especially, I think it's great because we're here at FIDM. It's Los Angeles, it's Hollywood, it's the heart of the entertainment industry. So, of course, we're going to have this kind of an exhibition right here.
How many exhibits do we have? How many TV shows?
Oh my gosh, we've got over 20 shows, I think about 23 to 24 shows, over 100 costumes. And what's really interesting is the curator, her name is Mary Rose, she didn't realize she was doing this, but it turned out to be a lot of period costumes. You normally don't see a lot of period costumes in a TV show exhibition. You, of course, will see the usual suspects, maybe a Mad Men or Downton Abbey, but there's a lot of period costumes. Now, when I say period costumes, you're talking about, a lot of, for example, Who's Behind Me, Tudor style, 16th century. We also have early 19th century, 20th century costumes. And, some people may not think it's period, but we've got stuff from that's supposed to be 2003, 2002. I guess if you're really, really young, that would be period. It'll be period to you. That's vintage,
I'm
maybe.
So much older than I look.
So, it's great that there's a variety. And it really is a way to sort of bring people that may not know a lot about costume design into the world. Because a lot of the people that come here are probably fans of TV shows. And so they have some specific shows that they love. And so they want to come and see the costumes up close. It's almost like they can get close to the actors who they love. And speaking of, it's also fun to come here because you get to see how tall somebody is or how short somebody is or
more the second.
Yeah. Or like, oh my gosh, she's so skinny, that kind of thing. So it's fun because you always hear a lot of the visitors going, I didn't know so-and-so was that short, that kind of thing, because these are the costumes that the actual actors wear. Yeah.
And they try so hard to make them authentic to the period as well, which is really great.
Yes, they do. The costume designers, especially more so now, they do really try and be authentic to the period, to the time, because they know that there's a lot of people, a lot of fashion designers, a lot of fellow costume designers who are watching and, checking to see if things are accurate. And I have to say it's perfect that we're here in this tableau because when I did a lot of research for the Wolf Hall show and the costumes, there's a lot of blogs from costume people, from costume folk. I mean, I don't know what you would call them. You've got your foodies who love food. What would be the costumies? Costumies.
I like that.
Yeah.
Or cosmies.
Yeah. They talk a lot about these costumes, and one blog I saw tried to pick out the inconsistencies. But they said they weren't that many. They said they're gorgeous, they're very accurate, but there's always a but. And so they said these are some, and one of them, are you ready for this? That the costumies picked, they said that the cod pieces were too small. I don't know. You might want to come here and see if it is too small. Now, I have to say, in defense of the costume designer, she said that she didn't consciously make the cod pieces too small. She said it's because of the jackets, the jerkins, and the skirts that, for example, Henry VIII wears, that maybe it just sort of covers it, and so you don't see it as much. Perhaps that could be it. But, again, there's a lot of costume design fans out there, so a lot of those might come here to see if things are accurate or not so much.
Well, I know a lot of people who like to recreate the costumes come here to see exactly how they were made as well, so that they can also make it as accurate as they can to the costume that they're trying to make as accurate to a thing as they can.
Right, exactly. And and it's something that they can do because a little secret I can tell you is a lot of these costumes, a lot of costume designers don't get that big of a budget. and don't have that much time. I think they have a little more time than we did on Project Runway, but it's still kind of like they have a week to make these costumes, you know, and with not that much of a budget. So I say that those people who do like to do cosplay and make costumes, they can do a better job, because I see some of those out there and I'm like, that is some plastic janky mess. I want to see better.
I remember seeing the Smithsonian exhibit for the Star Wars costumes, and just being kind of this shattered illusion of what the costumes actually looked like, especially over time, and being able to see, especially for Leia's bikini, that it was plastic and all the paint was flaking off of it.
Yeah, that's what happens, you know, with time, budget, restraints.
Budget's probably the biggest thing.
Yeah, budget is, and then, you know, it's lighting. Lighting makes everything so much better.
And being a million miles away, and filters.
Right, all of that. You know, but yes, I think, you know, incredibly, for example, you see a lot, just the opposite. For example, then you see something like Downton Abbey. Now, yes, it's not as old as the Star Wars movies, you know, but those are made impeccably. They're handmade. The costume designer wanted to make those by hand because she said that during that time, those ladies of that class, those dresses were made by hand. And so she had to make them by hand. I said, you didn't have to. You can just get in a machine and just do them, you know? You know, but so, and on the other hand, a lot of times, you know, costume designers do go to great pains. But I do agree. I remember seeing those Star Wars costumes and thinking, that's kind of Halloween-y.
Well, they had an awful budget, I know, for the first one, but and got bigger one as it went. But the beautiful thing about this exhibit is that it's not just the people who are nominated, that it's a wide variety of shows, so people can come see the other costumes and not just the ones that were nominated.
Right, exactly. We've got 4 of the Emmy nominees here, but then, like I said, we've got 20 other shows that you can come here and see. And so I'm sure that if you're a fan of TV and a fan of TV shows, you can come here and find a favorite, if not your favorites, right here. And so much fun things. Peter Pan. I mean, we've got a dress made of hair from Salem. Joseph A. Porro, the costume designer, he's wacko, and in a good way. I love me some good wacko. You know, so there's so many highlights. Whitney costume.
Yeah, gorgeous.
Done by Mona May. It's the 20th anniversary of Clueless. So, you know, those are great. So many great things. Yeah, for sure.
How long is the exhibit going to be open?
Well, it's going to be open through to September for a long time. And the best part, it's free.
Open to the public. Woo!
Hello.
Well, thank you so much for sharing time with us today. It was wonderful meeting you.
Thank you very much. Glad to be here. Bye.
Thanks for watching. If you like our video, please subscribe. We'll have several more during the season. And definitely comment on which show you think had the best costumes.